Oh, good morning to you. I'm at home today and I'm about to get into a very busy week. And one of the things that I've been doing and getting involved with is the finalization of my latest tract. And this is it. This is not the paper that it's going to be printed on. It will actually be quite a nice glossy paper. So this is just a rough copy that I've got off my computer while I'm waiting for the printers to do their work on Wednesday afternoon. And it's similar to the other ones, as you can see, with regard to the artwork. But the main difference here, is that it's greatly shortened. And all the information on it is basically very similar to the larger ones. But I felt that on this occasion, it was important to produce something that was easily readable and something that could be absorbed quickly. And then if there are questions afterwards, they can then be addressed. My email address is actually on the bottom here. And there's also the link for downloading them, which I'm sure many folk will use, trusting that because they have in the past. And it's important, I think, to get out the message that today's world is rapidly in a free fall. And we've been seeing it in the last 4 years, which is what I'm basically saying here in the tract. I've started off by saying in the last 4 years since COVID, a rapid chain of events have occurred together, never equaled before in modern history, in modern world history. And I've listed 6 here. Restrictions on personal freedom, I'll just go through them very quickly with regard to the global lockdowns. Free speech censorship, which I've dealt with here. The rise of woke culture, revision of political history, the breakdown of democracy through Islamist and cultural Marxist ideologies, perversion of human sexuality. I haven't come out with it extremely blatantly on the tract. I want to win as many souls as possible, but I have brought this in, and it can be further, information can be further given on request with regard to these things. But I've said here, perversion of human sexuality and gender confusion. And of course we know what that's all about, don't we, with the transgender movement. Explosion of new technologies, artificial intelligence, you might be able to see on the front here. The artificial hand and God's hand. I thought that was rather an effective symbol here as to what we're facing as the iron mixes with the clay, or tries to mix with the clay, shall we say, from Daniel's vision. And the promotion, of course, of the cashless society, the central bank digital currency. And then, of course, coupled with all this, I went on just to mention briefly the rise of anti-Semitism, the threat of world war, the rise of the large world bodies that seem to be directing governments, the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, the United Nations. And then, of course, leading into the New World Order, which, of course, we know that this is all being fitted out for the mark of the beast. It's all being fitted out for the coming of Antichrist and the false prophet. And so, with all that information, as it were, squashed into these 3 pages here, I then want to lead people to Christ. And that really is the intention. People say to me sometimes, but how can you use these events to preach the gospel with? Well, Jesus spoke about them, didn't he, in Matthew 24. All the time he spoke about these things. And he was warning. And of course there will be many, and many are in the church these days, that are saying, well, we're all just going to be lifted up from here, and we're not going to experience all the real persecution and difficulty. But it's happening now. It's happening already. And it's happening subtly as well. And these things tend to creep in from behind. And I think that is the issue with regard to this, is that if our eyes are open, if we say, Lord, let me see what's going on in the world today. Show me your perspective. The Lord will open our eyes, and he'll make us aware of what's needed in us as Christians to be able to share the gospel effectively and with power, And to be able to do that requires that our walk with Christ is such that it's a witness to the outside world. And we're not just aligning ourselves with those who are awake politically, because there are many. There are many on the internet that are awake politically. We can look at Douglas Murray, we can look at Russell Brand, to some extent Jordan Peterson, people like that. They're awake politically. But what the Lord wants us to do in these last days is not just to be aware of these events, but to see that these events are leading up to that final event. That's the coming of Antichrist, and then the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ and the revelation of the truth. So I'll be having these printed on Wednesday afternoon, and those of you that are interested, I will send out small batches to anyone who wants them out, to hand them out to their churches. If you would like to give a donation towards the work and the work allied to the ministry, I will put a PayPal link in this video, and as the Lord leads you. So I just want to commit that to you this morning, and I'll talk more about this and the ensuing consequences. Have a blessed day.